Oh no, is he doing dreams now too? Why doesn't he just stick to the Sphinx closed its eyes? That's what he's at his best. Well, it's not my dream. It's one of your dreams. It's a dream one of the people who, folks, family, channel family, comes and watches these videos. And I know, dreams. Raise your hand if you've ever been disappointed by someone's dream that you hoped was from God and was predicting a date or an event, and it just never happened. I mean, we've all seen that. At the same time, God says he's going to send dreams and visions. Given the time that we're in, we should be looking for dreams and visions, but, with discernment, because they're coming. And maybe what I'm going to show you is one of them, and I'm in a dilemma. Now, normally, I wouldn't do a video about a dream. But this dream contains an element that tells me it might be different than your normal prophetic dream that's not prophetic. And that's why I'm doing it. But I wasn't sure. And I still wasn't sure, even though it was fascinating to read it. I asked God, I said, I'm going to need confirmation. I'm going to need confirmation, or I won't do the video. If you give me confirmation, I will do the video. Then I think he gave me confirmation. It was either confirmation or a coincidence. I actually called my sister and said, what do you think? And I never ask. Those words never come out of my mouth when it comes to my sister. What do you think? But I wanted to know what she thought. And she was kind of like, maybe. I don't. And then I got more confirmation. And then I said, I can't say it was just coincidence 2 times in a row. I told him I'd do a video if he gave me confirmation. I have to honor that, because I'd rather be the guy who thinks he got confirmation when he didn't and brings you the video that I promised, as opposed to being the guy who later on hears from God someday, I gave you confirmation and you called it coincidence. You asked for confirmation. I sent it and you called it coincidence. And then I sent it again and you called it coincidence again and didn't do the video. You let me down. I don't want to be that guy. I want him to know if he gives me something, I'm on it. I may jump the gun a little bit, but I'll be on it. He doesn't have to take a stick and spur staying on because he's a slacker in these things. I'll err on that side. So that's maybe what I'm doing here, but you decide. This is an obligation. As a matter of fact, when I woke up this morning, I said, I've been sitting on this for a week. I said I'd do it. Normally I make videos in the afternoon. This is the morning, and I don't know how the sun is going to play through the window and may do some strange things, but I want to get this out of the way. I told him I'd do it. I'm doing it. Now, we're all big boys and girls. This is going to point to a date. If it doesn't happen, cry a little bit, blame me if you want, but it's just the process that we have to go through if we call ourselves watchers. I mean, could you imagine the guys on the wall who were actually watchers? They'd see stuff all the time, way out in the distance, right out by the horizon. What's going on out there? Run to the captain. I see something. Well, you think it's important? I don't know yet. Might be. Goes back a few minutes later. Now it was just a caravan. Okay, well, that's part of his job. We like to pat ourselves on the back, and rightfully so, that we're watchers. So I'm watching. This may just be a caravan, or it may be something. But I'll tell you this. Now listen closely to this. The R word is not coming out of my mouth. I am not aligning the dream with the R word. If the lady, Lori, who had the dream, wants to do that, fine. If you want to do it, fine. I'm not doing it. So if you tell somebody, yeah, I heard a guy do a video and he's pointing to a date in September for the rapture, you would be bearing false witness. And if we were living in Old Testament times, I'd get to throw stones at your face. But I'm not. So don't say that. If you want to come to that conclusion, that's up to you. I'm coming to a different conclusion. Okay? So we go forward, just bear that in mind. Now, I'm going to get straight to the point of what makes her dream different. Now, she's having a dream. Lori, you can actually go to the comment section of the previous video, which was my 14th anniversary of God scaring the crap out of me, and you'll see she details her dreams, and you'll see my responses to her, and because I'm curious about some things. And I'm specifically interested in the dream that she's having. And it's a chaotic dream, but she hears these words right before it ends. And this dream is being associated with the numbers 9/11. She's having other dreams where the numbers are 321. She sees that over and over. In this dream, it's being associated with 9/11. And she hears audibly these words in her dream: Titans against the Giants. And immediately the dream ended. Okay, now as I'm reading that part of her description of her dreams, I'm thinking to myself, that football? Are we talking about NFL football? The Titans versus the Giants? Now, I may be shallow, but I'm not shallow enough to believe that God is setting his prophetic time clock around an NFL football game. Okay? This looks like it. This looks like a football game, but he's not setting his time clock around it. He may be using it like he used to use in his earthly ministry, agricultural icons. He would talk about kings. These are things the people would relate to and understand. He'd talk about weddings, things that were culturally significant. He may have just used a culturally significant icon with the Sphinx for the people in Egypt. He may be doing the same thing here, but there's a lot here that you need to see, and then make your decision if you think this is important or relevant. We'll all make that decision later on in the video, okay? But for right now, let's just pretend God is in this, okay? Now, here's what's interesting. Titans against the Giants. Those are the two only Nephilim mascots in the NFL. I mean, it's not the Buccaneers versus the Cardinals. No, Titans, Giants. There are only two mascots in the NFL that are associated with the Nephilim. And there they are. That's kind of interesting right off the bat. I think it may be telling us something of what this is about. Now, where it gets really interesting, because I was wondering at this point, well, the NFL season is about to start in a few weeks. I wonder if the New York Giants play the Tennessee Titans at some time during the regular season. You know, just might be interesting. I don't know. Well, Lori did the work for us. In her next paragraph, she tells us that that game actually is on the opening Sunday. The Giants are playing the Titans. It's the Titans against the Giants. What really makes that interesting is that opening Sunday. They have a Thursday game right before the Sunday game. The Thursday game, they've been doing that recently. It's a big, important opening game on Thursday, but the opening Sunday where all the teams play is Sunday, September 11th, 9/11. So here was her dream associated with 9/11. She's told Titans against the Giants, and it's going to happen on September the 11th. So I wanted to know, Lori, did you know about that ahead of time? Because it's not an important game by NFL standards. The Giants are near the bottom. They're ranked near the bottom in talent. And the Titans this year are kind of mid-pack. Nobody is interested in that game other than their own fans. But I wanted to know if Lori, and she said, no, I haven't followed football in 3 or 4 years. I believe her. No one's talking about that game. Now, to me, what's interesting is I've never had a dream where the dream told me a fact I didn't know. You know, like if I had a dream, I don't know anything about the World's Fair. I don't even know if it's still going on. But if I had a dream about the World's Fair and it was in Barcelona in 2025 in my dream, and I wake up and I Google it, and the World's Fair is in Barcelona in 2025, I'd go, hey, what just happened? That's never happened before. I've never heard of any of my friends having a situation like that, because you would tell your friends, I had the strangest dream. I was told in my dream such and such, which I'd never heard of, and I wake up and I find out such and such is true. Well, here's that situation with Lori, and she was shocked by it. It is a fascinating detail. She's told about 9/11 being associated with that dream. She's told Titans against the Giants, and they play on Sunday, September 11th, 9/11. So again, assuming that God is in this, let me give you my Captain Obvious interpretation. I think he's making a statement about the Nephilim coming. Something important on September 12th could happen in that regard. There isn't, by the way, you would be hard pressed to find a prophecy teacher who doesn't teach that the Nephilim play an important role in the end times, in the Great Tribulation. We see various places in the book of Revelation where that could very easily be true. As a matter of fact, Satan has basically his own event line in the book of Revelation. It begins in Revelation chapter 12, and it ends with the seventh bowl, which is the day of the Lord. All of that has to take place while God's hour of testing that's coming on the whole world is also going on. Is God saying in that agenda of evil on September 12th, 2022, because that's another reason I think he said Titans and Giants, so that we could see and understand it's this September 11th. The Giants don't play the Titans very often because they're in two different conferences. And about the only way they could meet is in the Super Bowl. Once every 5 years, they would play the division the Titans are in, and that happens to be this year. They won't play each other probably again for another 5 years. He's telling us this September 12th, 2022, and the event is about the Nephilim. And something could happen that advances that agenda. That is what I'm seeing as a possibility. If God is involved. If God is not involved, this is drivel. This is a waste of your time and my time. But is it really? This is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to try and find the dreams and visions he is seeing. I'm not saying it. We'll get to that. I'll tell you how believable I think this is in just a few minutes. That's a possibility. And we won't have long to wait, will we? Now, let me really go off the rails on something, because when I saw that they were playing on September 11th, I immediately saw something else, and it just click, click, click. I mean, rapid fire in my head. I'm not saying God gave it to me, but I'm saying it became real clear to me real quick, another possibility. It may be another possibility, another interpretation, or one that goes with what we just talked about. She also saw 321 in various dreams. Now, when I saw 321, I saw it as 3, 2, 1, like a countdown. And when I saw September 11th, I saw something else in my mind. September 25th, 2 weeks to the day later. September 11th, this year is on a Sunday. September 25th is on a Sunday. What if the countdown is being applied to? What if he's giving us September the 12th as the beginning of a countdown? Oh, the evil agenda may take a step forward that day, but maybe there's something else going on. Let's say September 11th is 3 in the countdown. The next Sunday, September 18th, is 2. September 25th is go time, 1. Why is that important? September 25th is a new moon, and on the Hebrew calendar this year, it's the beginning of Feast of Trumpets. And you know how I feel about Feast of Trumpets. I believe it's very likely tied to this event circled right here. This is that event that comes out of a half hour of silence. This is God's opening statement. It is his announcement that the hour of testing is about to begin, and it's an enormous event. And we've always kind of looked past that little event, that paragraph in chapter 8 of the book of Revelation, but we should not, because it is a powerful moment. So is God saying, Oh, yeah, the evil empire is about to do something, but I'm going to do something myself on September 25th, Feast of Trumpets. And here's a fun fact. As Lori pointed out, the Tennessee Titans logo is a flaming ball of fire. Okay, she said it looks like a comet. I would show you, but that would be a copyright infringement. So you can look it up. What football team would have a flaming comet hurtling through space? Or whatever it is, it's on fire and it's round. What is that? I mean, I could understand a flaming football maybe being thrown through the air, the Tennessee Titans. What's a comet have to do with Titans? Does that have something to do historically with Titans? Maybe it does. I don't. But here's the fun fact. In the event, what is the event? Well, the event essentially is an angel scooping up with a censer, round object, with fire and flinging it to the earth. Isn't that fun to think about right there? That probably is just a coincidence, but I couldn't help but notice it. All right, so there you have it. I don't know. I don't know. Let me tell you the confirmation, and you can decide for yourself. Was this coincidence or confirmation? So it was a week ago. This is Tuesday, so it was a week ago Monday. Thinking about this dream, I had just learned about it, and I said, you gotta confirm it. I'll do a video if you confirm it. A few minutes later, I'm coming out of the grocery store. I'm walking back to my car. I'm thinking about 1,000 different things, but none of them are that dream or a video or anything related to this. And I've just got my head down and I'm thinking about, planning my day. And suddenly my head goes, just like that. It didn't make the sound, but it went, and I'm staring down at a bumper and all I see are the giant words Titan, because there's a pickup truck that's called Titan. And I thought, was that confirmation? I mean, it was the only car I took notice of that day, and I didn't know I was going to take notice of it. Well, you saw the truck out of the side vision, your peripheral vision, and you knew it looked like a Titan truck, and so that word would be on the bump. Folks, I don't even know who makes Titan pickup trucks. Okay, I'm not a pickup truck guy. I tried to buy one once, and they told me, get off our lot. Go to the Hyundai dealership up the street. Get off our lot. I don't know anything. I wouldn't know the difference between a Ford F-250 and whoever makes the Titan, okay? But was that confirmation? Awfully coincidental. A few days later, I'm walking down, doing my morning walk, going down a residential street, and I'm listening to a podcast of the author who has just written a book that the Nephilim are returning. That was the whole point of the podcast, and I'm engrossed in the podcast. Sun's out shining bright, so once again I got my head down. I'm just walking, and all of a sudden my head does and parked there on the street is a tow truck, and my eyes went just lasered in on the bumper sticker across the top bar of the tow truck, and all it said was Titan. That was it. Titan with a lightning bolt through it. When I got that, I said, all right, I'm doing the video. I don't care. If it's just two coincidences in a row, so be it. I'm doing the video. I'm going to honor what I told him I would do. If you want to laugh at me at the end of September, you go right ahead. And then I will direct all of our laughter at Lori, and we'll find out, we'll dox her, we'll go to her house, and we will make her life a living hell. No, I appreciate what Lord. If I had those dreams, I'd share them too. And if God is in this, folks, we are on sacred ground. Take off your shoes. If he's not, it was a caravan. We thought it could be something, but it wasn't. I don't know which way it'll go. So let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you place it? What is your confidence of this event taking place on September 12th and or September 25th? Where do you place it? Well, let's make sure we're all working off the same 1 to 10 scale. Let's say 1 would be, don't you people have something better to do? This is nonsense. 2 would be, the New York Giants have a better shot at winning the Super Bowl than that dream has of coming true. 3, girls and their dreams, shaking my head. 4, highly, highly unlikely. 5, maybe. 6, strong maybe. 7, I have a pretty good feeling about this thing. I think we're onto something. 8 would be, I want to tell everyone about this, including the people unfortunate enough to be standing in front of me in the checkout line. 9 would be, I wish there was time for me to write a book about it and promote it on the Jim Bakker Show. 10, thus saith the Lord. So on that scale of 1 to 10, where would you be in terms of confidence that something big is going to happen next month in September? Did you pick one? Let me show you what I picked. Yeah, strong maybe. Only because I'm not 100% sure God. If I was 100% sure that God was in it, it would be much higher. But I still wouldn't be sure of my interpretation. I may have it all wrong. So there's too many ifs for me to go much higher than 6 on that scale. But we live in extraordinary times. I've never seen anything like what is going on in this country and around the world. And that's not just some old guy going, oh, back in my day, we didn't have such. I'm not doing that. Look, we've been in a moral decline, this country, since the mid-'60s. And it's just gotten worse and worse. What I'm talking about is different from all of that. It is an evil that is present. And if we are getting right at the door of the hour of testing that's about to come on the whole earth to try them who dwell on the earth, then we should expect to see things begin to pop. And what I don't know if there was any truth in what I just told you about the dream and my interpretation of it, but let me end with complete truth. He is coming soon. And this is the point of Lori's dreams. When you read her comments, that's the point of all of her dreams, is summed up in, he is coming soon. I know he's coming soon because he tells us he is. The 7 letters to the churches in the book of Revelation, they had, some relativity to the 7 churches in Asia Minor, and they were relative to the church throughout the church age. But those letters are to the church on the earth at the time the testing is about to begin. And what does he tell the church? Us. I'm coming soon. He is coming upon the church. And he is coming as a thief to a lot of the church. But to the people who comprise the church of Philadelphia, he is going to keep them from the hour of testing. He is coming soon. I fulfilled my obligation. Thank you for watching. God bless every one of you. Thank you, Lori, for letting me share your dream.